All right, ladies and gentlemen, pardon the delay. Uh, been a little bit behind on time, but we're gonna pick up where we left off. Uh, Faced a little technical difficulties. Had a little surgery on my wrist. I guess I wanted to be like Pat Botese up in this camp, but we was gonna go over a few things. Let me take this off. Hope everybody can hear me out there. Add some links on there. Hopefully, the guests can come on in a little bit, but I wanted to kind of go over some things on this being the I guess really officially closing out for the new year. I may do another broadcast uh before the end of the year, but just wanted to go out with a bang. I know a lot of people have been getting their selections the for district players and all that stuff. You're all district players and definitely something to be excited about. Those that were selected. I know some of us may have our own little uh nuances on how the selection process should be, and but excited for those young men that were even whether you were nominated or received honorable mention, whether you were first, second team MVP or co-MVP. It's nothing that needs that. So shout out and salute to uh, those gentlemen that were selected to their all district team. Yeah, it's not. I don't know why my thing is showing like I'm a little crooked. I don't know why, but gonna go in the paint for a little bit on some things. Hopefully, we continue with part two of All Well that's Braswell. But I really just wanted to touch on some things, some recognition of some coaches and um, coordinators that kind of watched them the last few years of what they have done and just interacted with them and and getting to know them as people. And so just watching them, how they interact not only with the players, but how they interact with parents and staff, especially during times of adversity. I definitely commend them for that. So that's the number one thing for me is how, coaches conduct themselves. Trying to see what's going on here. I don't know why it's not showing. Like I know it's showing me as being live. Uh, so let me try this because things have changed since I started using StreamYard before in the past. But as far as even in the Facebook groups and things like that, so they've changed up a lot of what they allow us to do and not do. It's not my first time streaming, but this is second time using it since they upgraded their platform and their format. But just wanted to say that I appreciate those that have been tuning in. Again, I'm gonna send a link out. I'm gonna get started on the top pick coaches. Not gonna be on here very long. Like I said, just some coaches that I think very highly of, and what they're doing and and what they're all about. So definitely excited about that. And well, I'll be remiss if I didn't say this. Shout out to all those teams that not just those that won. I know we also talking about the winners, but those that made it to AT&T. There are thousands of teams that wish they could have been in the mix to receive a medal and a trophy at AT&T. But shout out to all the teams that have made it. teams that didn't get that won but didn't get a lot of recognition. Uh, Shout out to Stephenville for what they accomplished, but especially Carthage because Carthage is right on the heels of Alita. I know we don't talk about it because it's East Texas and all that, but just to recognize who they are and what they're doing is to me is doubly exciting. So to see what they're doing out there and uh, and what they have accomplished out there in East Texas, we don't talk about that very much. But they received number 11 this weekend, and they did it in dominant fashion. So I keep seeing nothing but great things out of Carthage. They just keep reloading, 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 reloading. I saw some things, like I say, over the this past uh, year that have gotten me excited for years to come. So um, just knowing that and seeing that gets me pumped up for what's going on here in the near future. Like I said, I'm gonna send this out, send the link out to a couple of people, waiting to see if I get some uh, response here in the chat. I haven't gotten a message yet. Uh, for those that will be joining us in a little bit, but like I said, I'm gonna drop this link and then I'm gonna get started on my picks here. The ones that I think, like I say, everybody could have a difference of opinion. When you're in the chat, you can tell me why you don't think my selection is legit. That's okay. If you don't think that my picks are or anything, so um, I see some others are on tonight. I didn't know that they were live as well tonight, but on the podcast, so I apologize. I wasn't trying to compete with my brothers on the dub, but they were. I didn't know they were going live tonight, but it is what it is because I selected Tuesday nights to not to ruffle any feathers with the dub, but it is what it is. So I'm going. Just bear with me one moment here. So yeah, like I said again, I sincerely apologize. My brothers over there, I didn't know they were going live, but they never said anything, so it is what it is. So yeah. So I know they got the three-time state champion over there, and Coach Sample, so I'm definitely excited, for the things that he done. So yeah, like I said, I'll get that out there, and anyone that would like to join, just let me know. Uh, I'll send you the link. But yeah, we're about to get started here. I was talking about, like I said, my pick six. These are my up and coming coaches. I try not to pick coaches. I didn't pick coaches that have had head coaching experience. These are those that have not, to my knowledge, have not had head coaching experience. It's just those that I see that they definitely have what it takes. Oh, greetings, greetings, greetings. They definitely have what it takes to put on that headset and wear that visor on the sideline And so this is in no particular order. These are my top six, and just in no particular order. And again, it's not those coaches that have had head coaching experience. That may be a DC or an OC or position coach or coordinator, you know, passing coordinator, running coordinator, whatever, um, at any other high school. So I try not to pick those. We're just going to talk about those that are actually um, the up and comers. No particular order. And I say this, my first up and comer. No, I'll save him a little bit later. Uh, my first up and comer is Coach William Carr. He is currently the D line coach for the state champion South Oak Cliff Bears. Last year he was at Seagerville, and he did his thing at Seagerville, and I'll come back to Seagerville in a minute. But just kind of tell you about Coach Carr. He was an outstanding player, high school player, O line, but primarily D line at quarter. And he used that talent to go up to the University of Michigan and was very successful up there. Uh, and he has coached on the collegiate level and in the high school level. And I say this because there were some things that I saw in Coach Carr that people may not pick up behind the scenes. One of the things was during halftime of one of the games, everyone was running into the locker room, the coach was running to the locker room, and the camera caught Coach Carr actually walking with one of his athletes and having a conversation with him. I mean, really talking to him about, hey, what we're going to do in the second half, and doing a great job. And those some of the things that you look for when you're looking for a head coach. I have seen Coach Carr coach up in personal, but the most thing that impressed me, the thing that impressed me more than anything else was last spring. He was the Seagoville young ladies flag football, 7-on-7 flag football coach. And when I tell you a group that has never played any type of football like that before, organized football, a team that comes from all different backgrounds. The best way I can put it is it reminds me of the Bad News Bears. He took a group of young ladies that were excited about playing from all different backgrounds and turned them into winners. And that right there, that impressed me more than anything. I'll never forget there was one the game that they had scheduled, and the team didn't show up. So they were excited. The refs gave them the forfeit, and the coach of the other team showed up, but because the buses were late, the buses were stuck in traffic. Coach Carr, being the gentleman that he is, he said, "Okay, we'll play you guys." And so instead of just taking the victory as a forfeit, he decided, "Hey, we're gonna play the game." And not only did they play the game, they dominated the game. And that's coming from the high to the lows, back to the highs again. And then I saw how after the game, how those young ladies just rallied around uh, Coach Carr like that. And that's something, like I say, those are the type of things that you just get from knowing him. Again, like I say, he's been a coach at Arizona Western. He's been a coach, came back and not only as a player, but he came back as a coach at Michigan, came back as a coach and defensive analyst for the University of Texas. He's a D-line coach for Morgan State. He was at Alabama A&M, and then he came back, as associate head coach again at Morgan State. So I mean, and he's done it on all levels. Going to the NFL, and coming back and coaching on the collegiate level, and from D1 all the way down. So coaches, athletic directors out there, superintendent, school board, you may want to put Coach William Carr on your short list of selections of head coaches. Um, I will say this because I don't want it to be tampering, because I know that he's probably got to sign. He's probably got to succeed from the sock union, since Coach Todd was talking about his players have to after signing what do you say the I guess some kind of declaration or whatever he had him to sign, the Articles of Confederacy or whatever it is he has them to sign when they come on board with SOC. So if you let them go. Let my people go. Coach Carr, let Coach Carr go, because he's an outstanding coach, and he can definitely fit into any program. But he's the first one that I did off. Like I said, there's no particular order. But I would definitely say, like, again, any ISD, put him on your short list of of head coach or defensive coordinator, because he can do it all. He's also in the booth and the new technology. He knows how to run all that, so you're not having to school him on the new technology that they have with the smart pads and all that stuff. He already knows how to do it. So shout out to Coach Carl. My next selection, I would say, and I went to the defensive side, but I'm gonna slide to the offensive side, and I'll say Coach Wilson Rigg with CU. For those who don't know who CU is, with the Anna Coyotes. Uh, Coach is one of those that he is. Let me see something right quick, because I'm having, like I said, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties on here. And I want to be able to, if anyone has any questions, I want to be able to answer those questions for them in chat. But yeah, so he's one of those, like I said again, that I'm really uh, excited about, because I've seen what he's able to do and what he's continuing to do, uh, and what he will do in the future. Uh, my second one, like I said, going to offensive side, like I said again, going back, I apologize, I went back and coming back forward, is Coach Rigg. Like I said, he's the offensive coordinator for the Anna Coyotes. Coach has played at Mizzou, so he's played in Missouri. And he is coaching one of the most electric offenses this side of the Sabine River. So I know without a shadow of a doubt, I know if he gets selected, that Coach Seth Farr would be sad to see him go. We'll all be sad to see him go. But I tell you, he's an offensive guru, and what he has built with the offensive line, some youngsters, and he was plugging and playing here. A lot of them were hurt, throughout the year, but I've seen him develop players. If anybody knows anything about Mr. Peyton Miller, who has another year that's coming back. There was that the offensive line this year was very young. I believe that uh, they only have one senior guard that's graduating. I believe the rest are all coming back next year, so they're going to be more powerful on that line. And what Coach Rigg has done, like I said, to have one of the most prolific offenses that I have seen in a long time. And he also proved that those young linemen can also run block as well. I know a lot of them just think about, because they pass, but they proved throughout the season they've opened up a lot of holes for So for real and my man Master Ace, Ace Trailer back there. Uh, No, I wasn't trying to take any coaches, but man, I'll just say I'd like to give them their props. Because see, who I left off the list and I could have put on the list was Mr. Ryan Porter. Coach, when I tell you, Coach Porter, I have never seen him smile. I have watched Coach Porter for over 2 years now. I have never seen him smile. But he's the D line coach. And when I tell you those D linemen come out with the same tenacity and same ferociousness as Coach Porter. I didn't put him on there, but he's my honorable mention. So no, I'm not trying. I'm not trying to take any coach. Oh no, I won't take any from Argyle. I won't do it. I didn't even mention Argyle. I wanted to mention Argyle, but I didn't mention Argyle for a reason. So when we get on there on my all-star coaches, we're gonna talk about just coaching staffs and what they have done. That'll be, that'll be next week's show. That's what I want to do next week. I'm gonna talk about just coaching staff, period. Not coaches individually, but I'm gonna talk about the coaching staff. And Argyle is definitely one of them. What they continue to do. And I think we recognize them in this area. They just come across, like I say, this whole area, all of North Texas is just tough. If you come out of this region, if you can get out of Region One, Region Two, man, to meet the winner out of Region Three and Region Four to go to state. I've seen some of these games that have gone on in Region One that could actually have the same caliber of games that you will find at AT&T. So yeah, Argyle, their coaching staff is like I said, they were a field goal away from moving on and playing soccer. For the semifinal round. But yeah, that's one Argyle is definitely that's on my list of just coaching staffs. Period. The third coach that I'm going to mention. Um, and I had the opportunity, like I said, to really get to talk to him and know him and find out we know each other better than more than we thought we knew. Is Coach Cortland White. If y'all don't know Coach Cortland White, when I tell you he is on the fast track of being a head coach. Um, this young man, this young coach, I'm telling you, I got an opportunity. I observed him while he was at Louisville. He's at North Crowley now. He's a running back coach. When he was at Louisville, but I tell you, the coach knows how to coach running backs. He knows how to coach running backs. He knows about track. And anybody that knows me, you know that I love run fast and turn left. Without a shadow of a doubt, is run fast and turn left. So he is one of those. Like I said, I definitely want to give a shout out to his coach Cortland White. Kind of give you a little backdrop with him. People may not know this. He was a two-way player, and I advise any young athlete, any high school athlete, play more than one sport when you're in high school. I know now it could be, you're doing 7-on-7, you're doing, you're doing your spring ball and all that. But I advise any athlete because your muscles, you want to keep your muscles fresh and you want to do new, you want to kind of trick your body because your body will get trained to do certain things and you'll hit a wall. So play another sport, play basketball, run. I want you to run track. That's just me. But play baseball, wrestle. I always say if you are a lineman, a D lineman, or a linebacker, I would advise if you have a wrestling team at your school, wrestle. If you're an O lineman, same thing if you're a D lineman too. If you're an O lineman, if you have a powerlifting team, get in the powerlifting. I'm telling you, it's gonna work out for you during the football season. Do be a multi sport athlete. It'll pay off. And they look at those things on the collegiate level as well. What other sports did you play? What other sports did you participate in? And Coach Cortland White is one of those. For those who don't know, he was a standout running back when he played at Rockdale. So they say he was an outstanding basketball player and a phenomenal running back. He went to the University of Mary Hardin at Baylor. So, and he did great things there. But the most impressive thing for me is what took place earlier this year that Coach Cortland White was deemed the THSCA, the Texas High School Coaches Association, ambassador. And to get that honor as the ambassador, that means not only do your peers think a lot of you, think highly of you, but your mentors must think highly of you. So that's one of the things that for me, if I was on the selection committee, that I would look for is looking at coaches like that when you were selected to be an ambassador for the Texas High School Coaches Association. Man, hats off to you, coach. Hats off to you. He's a very humble coach, very humble coach. And if you didn't notice what he was doing with those running backs at North Crowley was the same thing he was doing with those running backs in Louisville. And you'll get a phenomenal track coach with that as well. Like I say, I run fast, turn them left. That's my baby right there. That's my first love. That is your foundational sport is track. So Coach Cortland is definitely on the fast track. Uh, if he gets snatched up, hey, like I say, Louisville know what they've missed in him, and when he is snatched up, North Crowley will know what they will be missing in Coach Cortland White. So shout out to Coach Cortland White. And while we're on that side of the ball, I'm gonna keep it on that side, but it's gonna be a little flip because people don't know this. The next coach that I would say on my pick six is Coach Scott Lloyd. Y'all don't know who he is. He is the wide receivers coach and passing coordinator for Mansfield Timberview. And if anyone has seen those phenomenal comebacks by Mansfield Timberview, Wolves only, you need to look at Coach Lloyd. And I say that because Coach Lloyd is a big reason why a lot of those comebacks took place when they just decided, hey, we're gonna do our thing and to have a quarterback and a receiving core like he did and utilize them, maximize their potential, that means a lot. He has a soft spot in my heart for two reasons. One is he's an alum of Austin College up there in Sherman. He's a root, he's a kangaroo. And it is something about that coaching pedigree that comes out of Austin College. I'm telling y'all better look out by Austin College. Y'all don't know Coach Harrison, who's also on the North Crowley staff, was a root as well. And then the head coach of Mansfield Timberview, Coach Coleman, is a root. So it is something about those Austin Kangaroos that when they play ball there, they know how to coach. Because a lot of players just know how to play, but when you know a player that knows how to coach. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that Coach Lloyd was a receiver and a DB when he played for the Rockwall Yellow Jackets out there, and that's when, like I said, he was doing phenomenal things uh, east of Dallas, northeast of Dallas, up there at Rockwall. But he switched over now as coaching. He's on the offensive side of the ball. And I hope Coach Lloyd's not mad at me for saying this. He's an outstanding passing coordinator, outstanding receivers coach. But I would like to see him as a defensive coordinator. I think he's gonna shock some people as defensive coordinator. Yes, sir, Mr. Melvin. Yes, sir. I got you. I got you. I got you. Yeah, like I said, we go. I just wanted to touch on something. Like I said, these are my pick six. But I just wanted to yeah, I did. Yep, yep. From Austin, yes, sir. Bill, like I said, we used to run up there when I was coaching with TAAF. So I know a lot of guys up there, and also my classmates. I had a couple of classmates. Uh, I had Miss Terry Thomas, who's now a big wig with Chase. She's one of the big managers and stuff, VP at Chase and all that stuff. And then my man played football with him is Ron Rutledge. For those that don't know, a couple of months ago, I did an interview with his dad. His dad was inducted into the McKinney ISD Hall of Honor. So Mr. Fields, but Ron Rutledge, yeah, that's my brother from another mother. So uh, that right there is saying about just the pedigree up there in Austin and what those rules are doing. So whatever the coaches are doing up there, getting their players ready, they get them ready for after football, and that's what coaches is all about. It's not because you won't be able to play football forever, and the window of opportunity of making it to the NFL are very very slim. But if you have those players that say, "Hey, I can transition and start coaching," that's phenomenal, and that's what they do up there in Austin. They not only teach them, how to be outstanding athletes, outstanding coaches, but just outstanding mentors and great people in society. So Coach Lloyd, he's one of those. Like I say, I would like to see him on the deep. He's on the offensive side, and I know every time that Matt Diggs Diggle Smack hears about Coach Lloyd, he gets all shook and stuff because the McKinney High running back had one of the greatest uh, games, single rushing games of all time. It was broken this year against Plano East. And Coach Lloyd was a part of that staff. For those who don't know, Coach Lloyd, I was also under one of my favorite head coaches. And I just, I really do admire him, and that's Coach Shavers. Coach Shavers is, of course, at at North Point, but when he was at the McKinney High, that was part of his staff. Because you'll talk about coaches that start to build and that's what we had the GOAT conversation. Everybody just looks at they look at the championship. But when I look at GOATs, I also look at who what coaching tree. I look at the coaching tree. So when you start seeing all these other coaches that are coming out of that Coach Shaver's tree, that's when you start looking at, hey, I need to start paying attention to what these coaches are doing. So that's one of the things that Coach Reginald Samples has done. Like I said, when he was there, like I said, Lincoln Skyline and doing what he was doing. And then, Coach Todd coming along. Coach Todd, quit being greedy, man. The tree, you shouldn't prune your branch of the tree, man. You need to let some of your people go. That's why I said, let Coach Carr, let my people go. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. I know you said they want to stay, but let them go. Let them spread their wings and fly away. So we've covered Coach Reed. We talked about Coach White. Well, we talked about Coach Lloyd. We talked about Coach Carr. And I'll talk about one of my buddies that we talk and on the regular. And he's one of those that, man, when I tell you, for those that don't know, when I mention this coach, all you got to do is ask the next coach that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But all you got to do is ask Coach Todd, ask South Oak Cliff defensive coaches, and they will tell you I'm spot on with this next coach that I'm going to mention, and that is Coach Chris Pete Tillman. He is the running backs coach for the Terrell Tigers. And if you didn't know, that running game that Terrell was having when everyone kept saying, "Oh no, this is a fluke," when they were undefeated until they came across Sock, and they were giving Sock tit for tat there for a little bit. When I tell you, Coach Tillman is go speed, pick them up, put them down. So when he gets there to be a head coach, I would love to see him within the next couple of years as an OC and the things that he can do. But I'm telling you, he can coach speed. He knows how to groom speed and put the right players in the right positions for them to excel. You want to talk about, like I say, all these other teams. When you look at it at the end of the day, two things are gonna get you over the top. In football, that's why I named my lineman, offensive line. I named Coach Rigg, defensive line. I named Coach Carr. You're gonna need your line, you're gonna need your trenches, but you're going to need speed. You are not going to win on any level unless you have speed. And that is what Coach Tillman can do. He was assistant track coach at Lancaster when Lancaster Tigers were in their heyday. So that's all I need to say about dealing with Coach Tillman. He can coach. He's a phenomenal coach. I would have loved to see him more up close and personal on some sidelines, but things didn't work out, and everything happens for a reason. But he is one that I will say without a shadow of a doubt, Coach Chris Pete Tillman. If he's not on your radar, ISD, if he's not on your radar, athletic directors, if he's not on your radar, school board, if he's not on your radar, booster club, quarterback club, you need to get him in your program. Because I'm telling you, he can turn it around quick, fast, in a hurry. Because look at where Terrell was the year before, and look at what Terrell is now. The coach, Sedberry, head coach Sedberry. Coach Sedberry made the right decision bringing in Coach Tillman. But I don't see him being there long. I see him definitely being elevated quick, fast, in a hurry. The lightning round. Which brings me to the last gentleman, and this irks me to the core of my soul to have to say this. He is the Scottie Pippen of high school coaches. And the reason why I say that is because his coach is Michael Jordan. And everybody talks about Jordan, but they forget Jordan didn't win without Pippen. Jordan didn't win until Pippen got there. So I say all that to say this. My number 6 pick, in no certain order, but the last pick for the night that I want to talk about is the dude pretending to be a dude, playing another dude, and that would be Coach Kyle Ward. Oh man, he is a track coach pretending to know about DBs and playing a defensive coordinator. When I tell you we have been talking about it. I have been talking about him. And I know he gonna twist it and try to razz it and say something. But I have watched him, I have watched him, I have watched him. He even said, don't be promoting me. But guess what? Guess what happened, Coach Boy? You see what happened? See what happens when you talk things into existence? Because I was just minding my business, watching the sock game, sock and Randall. And guess who those cameras on Victory Plus kept following and talking about? They kept talking about, I wore my sunglasses at night, Coach Kyle Ward. For those that don't know, he was a raging Cajun. He was a Lincoln Tiger back in the day. Played for West Mesquite for a little bit. And so that right there ought to tell you something. And Coach Ward has a passion that you want to see out of any defensive coordinator. But most importantly, he's got it up here. He's got it up here. And if you've ever seen their practices, ever seen their DBs, it is to see him work, it's like he is in the mind of the offensive coordinator of the opposite teams. And so his DBs are able to be in the quarterback's mind. They are there. I've seen his DBs, and this is not just one or two games. This wasn't just a state game. These were games that I've watched them. I've watched their DBs. I've watched their safeties. I've watched their cornerbacks. I have watched them literally be at the place where the offensive receiver is supposed to be, picking those balls off or getting past defense. But more often than not, they will pick off. Not only pick, but pick sixes. So, and I know one pick six the couple of games ago, there was a pick six and they called it back. And I still haven't seen the penalty on why they called it pick six back. So somebody in the chat, let me know if you see that. So yeah, that's what I said. Going back to that about Turtle Tiger, like I said, that wing T, slot T, wishbone. Yeah, like I say, he man, that Coach Tillman, he can do it all. So that's my pick six. I thought my guests were going to be able to come on. I apologize a little bit late. Like I said, I wanted to take the Pat Botese. I had to have. I don't know. Like I said, still don't know. I ain't figured it out. I have to go back and find out how I broke my wrist. So I had wrist surgery. Nobody come on at 8:30. So if I'm typing and mistyping stuff, just charge it to my head and not to my heart. I was hoping they would be able to come on, but I don't see them in there. But we are going to continue the conversation. Like I say, next week we're going to talk about the things that are going on with Denton ISD and bring some more guests on. Actually, I apologize because I sent the link out to them a little bit late. But I wanted to touch on, like I say, my pick six. Those will be my six coaches that you need to watch. If they're not elevated here going into after the new year starts and going into the spring, early spring, then definitely in 26, the end of 26 going into 27, that I see them up there in that booth, calling the plays as a coordinator or down there on the sidelines with those buyers, because they are leaders amongst men. They're leaders of men and young men. And like I said, these are coaches that I've interacted with, and I've seen how they have interacted with their players. I've seen how they interacted with their peers as coaches. I've seen how they've interacted with the head coaches, and most importantly, I've seen how they interact with the parents, with the fans, which is not easy to do as a coach. So I salute you all, gentlemen. Like I said, this is my six. If anybody has any other six, please send it to me. I'll make sure to showcase. But that's really what I want to do. I know we showcase the players a lot, but again, the coaches are the ones that put the players in the positions to shine. And like I said, there are a couple other coaches that I did not mention, but I did not mention them because they've had head coaching jobs before, and I know that they would definitely be on the short list. But these are some that I know without a shadow of a doubt that will make any program shine. And I'm talking about turn it around overnight. And these are the one season coaches. And shout out, I got to say this again, shout out to Coach Steven Jackson and what he has done in West Mesquite. He's already got a couple of coaches that have moved on because he's showcasing his coaches. He's highlighting his coaches. And I tip my hat off to you because a lot of coaches don't do that. They think that I had this coach, I had this coordinator, I had this position coach, and they try to lock them in for life. And I commend anyone to say, you know what? I want you to be better than me. I want you to be able to shine. And that's the example of a coach. I say any coach that's building that tree, and that's why I say shout out to Coach Sample there at Duncanville. He's done that. His coordinators have gone on, and coaches that are under him that have gone on to to do great things. So I hope that some coaches would take that little nugget out of his bag and give kudos to him. Because like I said, other coaches may have done it, but I didn't see it on the level that Coach Steven Jackson did out there with those Wranglers. Like I said, the ugliest jeans ever. So shout out to y'all. We're gonna do it again next week at 8:30. Hopefully we'll be on there. We'll talk and we'll probably have some breaking news because they usually wait around the holidays. Shortly thereafter when everybody taking the break to the breaking news. We'll talk about the coaching carousel because some major nuggets are going to drop. There were going to be some people that thought they knew and didn't know, and they're going to be crying. And I'm just going to come back on the live and say, I told you so. So there will be some major shakeup at major high schools because, again, you have to love on your coaches. Most importantly, you got to support your coaches, not just when they're winning, but when they're losing, and then support them in what they do because it is not easy. It's not easy to corral 14 to 18-year-old men. It is not easy to do that. So they need all the help that they can get. They need all the support that they can get, support their families, love on these coaches, love on these kids, love on the coaches' children. So love the program and what y'all do. That's why I do what I do. Shout out to them. I'm gonna get over here and troll on the Dub chat. Like I say again, I apologize, gentlemen. I did not know y'all were coming on Tuesday. Normally y'all put something in there, but I didn't know. And like I said, I know Coach Mathis is in there. Y'all interviewing him tonight, but I picked Tuesday because that's the night when nothing was going on. Like I said, I don't know. There was no power. I don't think the new episodes of House of Pain or anything like that on Tuesday nights. So we'll do it again next Tuesday. We're gonna close it out. Like I said, this is gonna be the last one. We're gonna close it out. So we're gonna do it right. We're gonna close out the year and we're gonna go out with a bang. Thank y'all again. For those who don't know, can't see in the back, the Scrubber Dub Dub. I don't want to give a dub salute. So like I said, I just do two hands because I always do salute that's coming from the military. But shout out to y'all. Love on each other. Spend this time, whether you believe in this holiday season or not. Take this time to just spend with your family. Talk to your family. Love on them because too many people are leaving here. And we may not never get a chance to tell them how much we love them again. So take care of yourself. We'll do it again next week. I'm Coach T, aka Passer. I'm out.